Hello, my beautiful friend. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, Leanne. Good to see
Yes,
you.
yes, good to see you too. So how are you transitioning into working from home? We're about a month deep into the COVID crisis. How are you?
I'm actually really good now.
Yep.
I've had probably 2 really good weeks. I struggled though, I have to tell you.
Really?
Oh God, yeah, the first couple of
Why?
weeks. Why? Well, initially I actually was a bit kind of paralyzed by the whole thing because everything
Okay.
was happening so quickly, and I did the whole thing that I know is not the right thing to do, but I was seeing, some of the other industry coaches doing so much and, interviewing people and doing so much. And I was just like frozen. I'm like, what should I be doing? Should I be doing this? And I really just didn't know what the right or appropriate thing would be.
Okay.
So I struggled for the first week, and then I kind of got to the point of thinking, oh, because as I had 16 training bookings locked in between mid-March and end of June.
Mm.
And literally by the middle of the second week, they all cancelled.
Yeah.
And then a lot of my clients started saying, oh, we've got to watch expenses, we can't pay. So I had all of that going on. And then so that second week, I almost succumbed to the whole thing of not giving into it, but thinking, don't fight it. It is what it is. This is an opportunity to maybe chill out. You know, that thing
Yeah.
we do to make ourselves feel better. Um, but then I finally got my act together, thankfully.
And so what got your act together? What was the difference?
Um, Well, firstly, I made the decision to still work with all of my clients, whether they could pay or not. We just put it all on pause. And so I needed to still show up for them and be clear of mind and confident and everything. So I knew I needed to do it for them. And then secondly, there were 3 things. The second thing was I thought, you know what can I do? What can I do that's true to me? And I put together a series of little 45-minute webinars, and I offered them up to some of my clients and some complimentary work. And I started doing all these virtual lessons, which just energized me. It was so fantastic. And then I also committed to to stretching myself physically in terms of my exercise, because I was slacking off.
Yeah.
I was walking the dogs, but I wasn't running with them and all that. So I joined up to a 28-day thing where I do 28 minutes every day, and I'm doing more some days. And that's been, I believe, the ultimate game changer. And yes, I'm feeling really good. I've accepted what I've no longer got or what I've lost. But I'm super appreciative and grateful for my position and what I do have. And
Yeah.
I'm okay. It's
Oh,
good.
that's awesome. Yeah. And thank you for being prepared to share that, because I think there's a lot of people that were out there and were feeling a bit paralyzed by it, but then thinking, oh God, what's wrong with me? Why can't I cope? Everybody around me seems to be coping. So I think it's really important to share when you're not really coping.
Yeah, I agree. And, me, I'll always be pretty open about what's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with you. And the last thing I ever want to do is pretend that everything's great, because, some of my vulnerabilities, speaking to some people, helped me to get a bit of clarity and a bit of almost courage back again. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you've got to share.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you on the exercise piece. I have to exercise, and and I'm not very good at pushing myself. I need to be with a trainer. So that's been a little bit of a challenge for me, but I'm doing what I can. I'm running, which I'm not really built to be a runner, but it's like I walk and then it's okay, I've got to run from that bit to that bit. No, you did that yesterday, so it's got to be a bit further today, kind of deal. But yeah.
Good on you. That's fantastic for doing that. And, I resonate with that a lot, because how what I hear from that, and what's what I needed with this 28-day program thing I'm doing, is I needed the sense of accomplishment, like
Yeah.
stretching myself and achievement.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
pushing yourself, and how good can I get? And that's what I'm doing too. And yeah, that's when I start to feel back in control again, when I can sense that I'm growing and doing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need the adrenaline release as well. Like I just mentally have much more clarity when I'm exercising than when I'm not.
Yeah.
And so what's the silver lining? What are the positives you're going to take out of this?
The positives are, well, the first thing is for me to know, and it's not unlike the podcast we did a while ago,
Yes.
but the silver lining for me is never to look for validation outside of myself, and to stay really true to what feels good for me, what I enjoy, and just to kind of stay in my own lane, if that makes sense, and not try and do what everybody else is doing. So that's the big one. So that's driven home again. And secondly, this is really interesting. I've almost found that I've enjoyed not having the hectic social schedule.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
I'm glad it's not just me, because we've got people coming over because the changes to the restrictions. But I think moving forward, I'm not going to load myself up like I have.
Yeah.
Because I've really appreciated what that's enabled me to do at home and with my husband and things like that. And the other thing too is a new appreciation and respect actually for money, because I can see how much I can enjoy my life on, and what I can do with money, rather than just throwing it out the window. And I've saved so much because I'm housebound, and I want to just be a bit more conscious of that, because I think I can just fritter money away, which is really disrespectful to what it means to earn an income, I think.
I couldn't agree more. I was having a joke with my team earlier today about the fact that I'm stunned at how much money I'm actually saving because obviously just the whole commute for me was very expensive. It was probably best part of $1,000 a month when I considered tolls and fuel and that sort of thing. So that's a lot of money. But I was joking that I must be just, as I'm walking down the streets of the city, I must be just, sucking the money out of me. I don't know where it was all going, but so I've sort of made some financial commitments to myself that I'm excited by at being able to achieve that. So
and that has to be a significant silver lining, doesn't it?
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
So for everyone to have an opportunity to take stock of their financial situation and know that, if you're a little bit exposed and you don't want to feel like that again, what do you need to change moving forward? And I feel it's
so important. That's such a great question for everybody, isn't it? What is it? What is it do you need to change moving forward? And I think for a lot of people it will be having a bit more of a nest egg, which is easier said than done.
Well, you've got to start somewhere, and you chip away, and whatever you can have is better than not having that. So I think that for many, there will be some positives like that. I think could be quite universal.
Yeah, totally. And also that whole, we've always been saying how difficult it is to get real estate agents online. And so that, I think that they all scrambled to get online. So I think that will be a lasting impact for some meetings and that sort of stuff. There won't be necessarily as much travel as there was.
Yeah, for sure. And even resistance to an online meeting. And I've had some of my coaching clients a little bit resistant to it. So hopefully that will free that up, which will help everybody. But also, I've always recommended for my agents who've got absentee owners or expats to have their weekly progress meetings or their reserve meetings or whatever meetings they're having online. And this is great, because I think that's going to be a massive addition to their process.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to catch up, and I will look forward to just because we don't want to socialise doesn't mean we won't have a cheeky champers coming up. No, we will definitely be having a cheeky champers at some stage soon, I hope.
Yeah, I look forward to that very much.
Yeah, me too.